It's the Indie Horror Junkie Podcast, your source for anything and everything indie horror. Here's your host, Otis B. Dreads. All right, it is 8:00 p.m. You know where your indie horror's at? I kind of do. It is right here, and you know what I forgot already off the bat?
Yeah,
all of the fine links to get a hold of us junkies, to get a hold of the digital copy of the magazine, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, because we got a cool cover coming up on the March 13th release
issue number 8, you guys. Wow.
With that?
Issue number 8.
Issue number 8. Yeah. There's all the fine links down there at the bottom. And of course, one in particular would be our Gmail, Indie Horror Junkie at gmail.com. If you are a struggling indie artist, come and talk to us. If you need some promotion, you want to jump on the podcast with us, nutballs, come on, let's talk about your project. Hey, you could even get it featured in the magazine.
Let's do it.
How you guys doing? Asylum Amy, Rotting Ricky D.
Good, you guys. Happy Valentine's Day.
It is
Valentine's special for you all. So
yes. For those who did not by chance see, the promoting we've been doing the past day or so, we have Richard and Anastasia Elfman on the show for a very Bloody Bridget Valentine's Day special.
Yeah.
You see that? I got into it right there. Woo!
You did. I felt it.
I'm excited for this one. So Rick, let's talk a little bit about this magazine. Who's on the cover? Give the people the lowdown and get them pumped up for this March 13th.
Yeah, that's Peter Anthony on the cover. It's his new movie, Laugh, and we're really excited to do an exclusive piece on it in there. He's got it. I guess we'll find out all the details here soon as far as when it's due. I believe they're still doing a little bit of filming on it, but they just released the trailer, which looks epic. Yeah. So I'm really excited for him. So yeah, and that'll be out on the 13th, and we're really excited about it.
That's awesome. Amy, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, check the trailer out. They dropped it last night, I think around 8:30. It's got a ton of hits on it. It's a very high energy film.
I wouldn't expect any more from Mr. Peter Anthony.
From Peter Anthony, yeah, he's
kind of a high energy guy.
He's very creative, so to be able to see a lot of his ideas come into fruition, I know there's a lot of excitement surrounding this project. So I'm glad that we can be a part of promoting it and hoping elevate it to a new crowd of people and extend the watch on it. So check the trailer out. Again, it's called Laugh, and enjoy. It's wild.
It's good. Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride, and I'm pretty excited for Peter. He doing some Friday 13th fan films. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Anything else that's going to be in the new issue that you want to maybe give mention to before we bring in the guest?
Well, we've got several films that we're doing pieces on. I've tried to wipe it off of my brain since I've been heavily involved in putting this thing together.
Comedian, Deadly Endings, just to name it.
Deadly Endings. Right. But we're really excited. I'm playing a lot with the formatting and everything of it and having a good time trying to really make it pop. And I think that each issue is getting a little better. So my skills are increasing.
And physical copies will be immediately, available to take orders, to get your orders in on the 13th, right when it drops. So, there's no waiting period there. So you're going to want them because they're looking good. Got rid of a lot of them at MegaCon. So it was, that was an awesome time. Good stuff. All right, let's jump into it. I'm ready. Whoa, shake it off. Yes, as I mentioned, Richard Elfman, Anastasia Elfman, and we're gonna see a trailer, and I laugh, and you'll know why.
I was gonna say, as a matter of fact, the trailer was for a movie that they just did called Bloody Bridget that actually was entered into our Indie Horror Junkie Film Festival, and it was one of the finalists for the award. So it's a very, very fun, outlandish movie that I think hits very, very well. And I think you're really going to enjoy it.
And
It's
it's
so
the
fun.
again the first, as well as the some of the firsts that we're doing here on the show tonight. It's the first trailer that we've had to introduce with a warning. So let's
Without further ado.
let's just get into that right now. Here's that.
I'm resistant now to change. Feeling different can be very strange. I am feeling a compelling urge to enact some kind of purge. It's not like me to feel this way. It's not like me to feel this way. Compensation. Compensation. Living a lie gets so easy to take because time has no friends, no beginning, no end. Perpendicular anomalies. Stop my space inside my energies. Take my weapon before I forget. I'll do something that we both do. It's not like me to. It's not like me to feel this way. Feel this way. It's not like me to. It's not like me to feel this way. Feel this way. It's not like me to feel this. Feel this. Feel this. Feel this. Feel.
What a way to bring the show in. And look at this.
Up, here we go.
There it goes. I heard it.
Yes.
There it is.
There we go. Welcome, guys. It is
Welcome.
a
Happy
Bloody Bridget
Valentine's
Valentine's Day
Day.
special. That there's a first for you, for us. Popping the cork live on the show. That's awesome, man. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys. Thank you guys for taking the time to chat with us. That trailer, I guess let's just jump into that because as Rick mentioned, it was submitted into the Film Fest, did make it as a finalist. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Very much.
It was very fun, very raunchy, not what you call a family film. That's why we had the warning up there, which is another first, having to play a warning. So talk to us a little bit about Bloody Bridget. That was awesome.
Well, Anna played Bridget. I wrote and directed it.
No, you
Bloody good
and
fun.
instead you just played one part in Bloody Bridget, right? Because I know in Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks, you had many roles in that one. I think you played like 4 different roles, but you were just Bridget in this one, right?
Well, she has kind of like 2 sides to her. There's Demon Bridget, and then there's like the soft spoken artist Bridget. So it's kind of like playing
It's
2
kind of
roles.
like 2 roles, yeah.
Yeah. And with Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks, I did a lot of stuff in front of the camera and also behind. I did like second unit, hair and makeup, costuming, props, stunt driving, other stunts, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we put him to work.
That's awesome. What have you guys been up to? Anything that you're working on currently? You guys staying busy?
That's just touring with the festival, Canada to Brazil, everywhere in between. We've been doing live pre-shows with music and burlesque.
That's
love it.
awesome.
And sometimes 2 cities a weekend. So we've been busy. I mean, also, I just had a novel come out, a vampire, Jewish vampire film, The Schlemazel of Supreme. We're in a band together called Oingo Diabolico. And right now we're writing and producing animation series. I'm working on a horror one right now. I wish I could show you the images, but they're undercover still. But stay tuned for that one. So,
Oh, very
cool.
So we haven't been busy.
Yeah, just a little busy, you guys. Holy cow.
Just a little bit, yeah. So how is Bloody Bridget being received overall with the film festival circuit?
We're bringing down the fucking house, I've got to tell you.
Nice.
It's a crowd pleaser. In Brazil, it actually caused a riot, and she was chased by a mob, women as well as men, but saying like, "Oh, we have to tear the heart out of my boyfriend too, like that. Oh, he's so bad."
A good ride. Everybody was very happy, and they wanted to embrace Bloody Bridget and her vengeful ways. You know, because we in the film, it's like we let the bad guys be very bad, so that the audience is cheering for their demise. While I'm like literally, well, it's not really a spoiler. It's in the trailer, but it's like beating hearts out of somebody and then scolding them as I'm eating their hearts. And
well, we know the little difference between Brazil and Canada. Okay, so Brazil, they rioted after. In Canada, they stood up and applauded, but they didn't rush and riot out of their seats. So I guess there's cultural differences. Percussion was better in Brazil. I'm a percussionist. Yeah.
I actually first heard of the movie when you guys did your run at New Jersey Horror Con. You guys were part of the film festival there, which I believe you guys took home Best Feature Film.
Yeah.
And I saw the cover art and I was like, what is this film? I have to see it. So when I saw that you guys had submitted to the Indie Horror Junkie Film Festival, it was like the biggest treat for me because I was like, I get to fucking watch this movie. I'm so excited. It was one of the first films that I watched. And then we were all talking about it after we watched it. It's just so fun. It's so artistic. There's so many elements and layers and the score. And like, you just look so beautiful playing that character. It was so fun to watch you transition. It was so fun to watch you transition between those two different roles. And then, I got to talk about your burlesque dancing. It's so fun. I know that you have a dance background. I know that you've trained growing up since you were very young. And how did you get into comedy burlesque? And what was that like for you merging both of your worlds of burlesque dancing and film? Like, how does that feel? It's got to be incredible.
Oh man, so many big questions. The burlesque, I mean, I come from the theater. I'm classically trained in ballet since I was 3. And so I grew up kind of very like vaudeville and in the theater performing all the time. I don't know, cinema, like film has always been in my life. So I don't know if there's like a jumping off space, and I don't know, comedy, just always in my life. I don't know. It just like all meshes together. So yeah.
It really does translate that way. It translates that it's just a part of you, that the comedy and the performing, like you just come alive. It's so fun to watch. It really is.
She has a sense of humor. Like sometimes I'll be woken up out of a dead sleep with her levitating above me with fangs and blood dripping in my face.
I mean, it sounds like a true romance. What more could you ask for?
I had the same situation with my ex-wife, but it was obviously totally different.
Oh. Yeah. How many points did you lose tonight?
How many what?
I like to know a little bit more about
at least two.
At least 2. I like to know a little bit more about what is called the Elfman Live pre-show that you guys tour around with and give people at these screenings. You go with them and you give them a little bit extra. You're not just going to get to see the movie. You get, as was mentioned, a live little show. I mean, where did this come from? I think it's awesome, by the way, getting a little bit more.
Well, I corral local musicians. We march in with some Brazilian percussion, and then we bang out some numbers from the film, and then she comes out with her bloody burlesque. It isn't just burlesque, but she'll rip a bloody heart out on the stage.
Yes.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we travel with our films and we co-produce these live events. So we're a part of every aspect, from the music in the lobby to the themed cocktails to the photo ops. We're dealing with everything, every step of the way. And like Rick was saying, we harness and pull in local talent. So like local burlesque, we'll pull in and local musicians. And then we're also supporting local cinemas and trying to get people to come out and
That's awesome.
Support indie artists, and especially the ones that are coming from their, wherever we're going.
And
with
depending
them.
on the moon, we'll even have corpses rise out of the cemetery
Yeah.
and walk
Why
around the
not?
theater. And
Wow.
like, if someone tries to steal anything from the candy counter,
Don't
we
do
could,
it.
dispose of them. So
That's great. Where do you have any screenings coming up? I mean, I'm sure people listening either now or later is going to want to know where they can.
Wisconsin, God, there's half a dozen other places. I lose track.
Wow, we got to get you guys down to Florida for this. Holy cow!
For
Yeah.
sure.
Well, we almost came to Florida. We were supposed to go to what was it called? The popcorn
Frights. Or
popcorn
something?
frights.
Oh, popcorn fries.
And then the SAG strike happened, and she wasn't able to promote. But then like a month later, SAG gave us a waiver and said go. So now we can go to Florida.
Woohoo!
We need to help facilitate that.
Yes,
Where in Florida are you?
Tampa.
I'm in
area.
Newport Richie, but we're basically the Tampa Bay area.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So as far as like venue scouting locations, if you need any recommendations of theaters or just any type of whatever it is that you're looking to do, we can definitely give you some recommendations on that.
A good place to smoke cigars where they won't get
Oh,
Yeah, Ybor
Plenty of
City.
those.
Ybor City, right? It's a huge Cuban culture down here. Incredible Cuban food. You can't walk a block without hitting a cigar shop.
Well, my whole thing is Afro-Cuban music. So
We got to get you down to Ybor City.
Yeah. Great affinity for that culture.
Now,
You got to get them at the Cuban Club. They can perform at the Cuban Club, Rick. There
Oh
you go.
my.
Oh, there you
Oh
go.
my.
Yep.
I'm on it. I have
right, we're on it,
connections.
you guys.
Yeah, we just did an event called Haunted Havana over there at the Cuban Club. So I can make this happen.
It's a gorgeous historic building and Tampa down in Ybor City. Lots of it just comes to life at night. You guys would absolutely love it.
So I might be able to find some good percussionists there.
Guaranteed.
1,000%.
I'm
Guaranteed. All right.
Guaranteed. Things are happening. Making
Look at
things
that. We're making
happen live
deals.
on the air. Things are happening.
Cuban Club would be so perfect. Holy cow.
Both of you guys have been in front and behind the camera, and we find ourselves asking this question of a lot of guests because we do get guests on here that do go in front of the camera as well as behind the camera. What's your guys' favorite, being in front or behind the camera?
Well, when I did she was in every damn scene. Anna's a trooper. We'll get into that later, but this is, you wouldn't believe it, but there's a Marine background along with the ballet background. Serious hardcore samurai. Okay, but anyway, so I'm the devil, and I'm in this full makeup, but for 12 hours before we did the scene. I'm dying on the inside, but the only positive is I think I got more respect from the crew in my devil makeup.
Oh, yeah. Put yourself in their shoes. Yeah.
Move that table or be damned in hell for eternity. You know?
No, Ricky's the best on set. I mean, he has such a fun energy and keeps like everything's on track, and everybody's just so happy to be there. You know, like everybody's such a fan of his, so it's a wonderful experience and like very joyful.
Well, we shoot fast, and I grill for the cast and crew at the end of every week.
I read her on a podcast saw that you're this huge grill master and you guys will have these barbecues and have like 100 people over. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, you mean the
and Anna will come out and do a burlesque dance and you're barbecuing and how do I get an invite to one of these
round that we have for other artists? The house got shoulder to shoulder, maybe 100 people. I grill. And then Anna performs. She has this whole other, it's not comedic. It's a very dark, call it David Lynchian burlesque. She collaborates with this artist, Morgan Sorn, multi-instrumentalist. But it's dark, it's immersive, not at all comedy.
That sounds awesome.
He has
Yeah.
he has a 5-octave vocal range, and he harmonizes. He'll record on himself in the moment and harmonize, creating these incredibly intense soundscapes. And then they go into part of he's created all of these different operas, and so we've come up with this show called Vengeful Ways, and we've taken a few of the songs and they morph into each other. And so my characters go through a lot of it's kind of like, I don't know, the vibe is kind of like if you were lost in the mountains and you came across like a cave and there was a demon inside and wanting to tell you their like sad, crazy story in front of a like fire. Like that's kind of the vibe. It's like very dark, and there's ritual and just nuts stuff. It's fun.
Not a dull moment at Casa Elfo.
No, it doesn't sound like it. I mean, you got a great burlesque show. You've got music and some baby back ribs. I mean, that sounds like a match made in heaven for me.
Sounds like a party.
Talking, cowboy ribeyes and whole salmons and leg of lambs, rack of wild boar.
You had me at barbecue.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to change the subject before I get too hungry here. We're not even halfway through the show. Anna, you're big into special effects. You like the special effects. I seen that one of your idols, I guess you could say, in that area would be Lon Chaney Sr.
Yes, and I see him in your background. I focused directly onto that. Your famous monsters in the back. In 1925, I don't consider poor lovely Eric a monster, but I'm glad that it gets him some, like fame. That poor soul. I love him.
Okay, so when I first met Anastasia, she had, evenings was studying acting with Stella Adler, but her day job was in a practical effects house for horror films. And I was working with other people under the same roof, and that's kind of how we met, in a horror practical effects house.
Well, a friend of mine, Tom Savini, is a special makeup effects artist. I'm sure you know about him. His hero was Lon Chaney Sr. He even named his son Lon. And that's why when you mentioned that was really cool, because he loves Lon Chaney Sr., man of 1,000 faces.
He's pretty much the godfather of practical special effects. Like nothing really existed like what he was doing until he did it. And it was, definitely an origin for everybody.
And then doing it all on himself.
Makeup for what, 10 years, Anna?
What was that?
You did special effects makeup and makeup on movie sets for about 10 years?
Yeah. I mean, I still do all of my own, unless it's like a big budget, like production, I'm doing all of my own effects, my makeup and my costuming. I'm very involved with that, even on other projects that other people are doing. I generally do that. With Bloody Bridget, luckily we had a super wonderful team of effects artists that I got to like work with hand in hand. And also our costumer was super wonderful. So that, it's always great when they welcome me with open arms.
Yeah, Anastasia's did the prosthesis that I'm wearing right now to cover all of the wrinkles.
Can you tell us about your hair and Bloody Bridget? Was that a wig? Yeah. Was that yours? I kept thinking like, I don't know if you're familiar with Pippi Longstocking, how she had wires in her pigtails to make it stick out. How did you accomplish that look? It's so fun.
Well, Ricky had like a very strong vision for what
I have a vision.
Demon Bridget should look like. This is why I can't let him out of the house. And so I don't make wigs like that. So we went down to a really popular wig place down on Hollywood Boulevard. And so we were explaining the like technical things that we need, because we were filming a lot of the kills on green screen. So we couldn't have like frizziness or like being able to see through the hair curls. And so we were very specific. And then Ricky just like got out a pen and paper and literally squiggly drew what you see now. And the wonderful artist there created it. And I think it was made out of like around 10 regular wigs worth. And so they were really, really heavy. And we ended up getting 3 wigs made just in case I got one messy. But I think I only got one. Yeah, exactly. I think I only got one, like ruined it on like maybe the last take, which was lucky. So we've got 2 clean ones.
It's such a fun look. It's very hellish Medusa.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just works. It's a lot of fun.
Well, here was my hack. Okay, so I've got this great crew, great cast, but I didn't have a lot of days. So we're shooting on 2 Blackmagic cameras. I've got my DP, Howard Wexler, I've worked with for 25 years, and he and I, like Fred and Ginger, work fast. So to save time, I did all the kills back to back on green screen, where we could put the sets in crazy and go surrealistic. But normally, you have to drag your practical effects crew location to location to location. But we just did it one after another. Poor Anastasia, she's got tubes like gorilla taped up her arms. Then she's digging her nails, which are getting broken off, ripping the chest open, then eating shit. And she's a vegetarian, trying not to throw up, but she's a trooper and puts on the performance. Cut, cold shower, clean her up, next. 6 days in a row, 12, 13 hours, not a complaint.
Well, it ended up being even faster to just get like a wipe down from my crew from like a bucket and a towel, so that I didn't have to take the wig off or anything, so I could just be faster. Because I just wanted, because it wasn't just like, I wasn't like trooping it out. It was like also the victims, because it's not just filming it from one angle. It's doing the same scene, like getting bloody and stuck in blood and getting it from multiple angles. So like also my victim, who all of them were wonderful and so supportive, but they're also like, you know, it's like awkward and like they're sometimes on top of a car and stuff. So it was interesting.
Apparently, Brian Enright says the Elfman saved my life. Forbidden Zone and Oingo Boingo forever.
Huh. Okay, I'll take it.
I'll do, yeah. Oh, look, Rick got his copy of Forbidden Zone.
If we're taking lives on screen, we'll certainly save some off screen. Sure.
There you go.
Very cool. Yeah, I wanted to ask you. Tell me a little bit about how the Mystic Knights of Oingo Boingo came to be and what all happened.
Okay, I was in a kind of an avant-garde theater troupe in Paris, France when I was 21, 22, musical theater. The director, Jerome Savary, went on to become the director of the French National Theater. But and then Danny, a week after high school, shows up, and I got him a gig with us for the summer, his first, professional playing. And then I kind of thought like I wanted my own troupe. And the director, as brilliant as he was an alcoholic and ultimately did him in. So I started my own group, the Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo. And 12-person Commedia dell'arte, but it was bulky to bring around and travel. And life was kind of bending us into an 8-person rock group. So I wanted to get on film what I had been doing on stage. Forbidden Zone is basically my stage show with the Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo.
Oh, very cool.
There it is.
All right, now I know.
And now you know.
And now I know.
And I love that you're still incorporating a lot of your music into your films that you guys are producing now. So that kind of full circle, is that something that you want to continue to do with your work as,
music, I'm inspired by music. Anna's inspired by music. She's a cellist, by the way, plays cello in the end of the movie.
And the film too.
Yeah. But I look for what I call memorable music as opposed to serviceable music. And this is one of the things that's given Forbidden Zone its longevity. Serviceable music is, say, Chicago. Love the film, love the stage show. You see the film, by the time you get to the car, you can't remember any of the numbers. Why? Because it's generic, but it works for the film. Memorable music, you hear it, you take it for life. It's an itch that you need to scratch again. I search for great, memorable tunes that transcend time and demographic. And then I've got my brother, who's like Mozart reincarnated, doing new stuff. And also Eagle Plum, Ernesto Guerrero, our bandmate, but also the top cartoon composer in Hollywood, now doing big animated features for Warner Brothers, doing our scores. So any Richard Elfman films could be wall-to-wall music, and not just wall-to-wall music, but memorable music. And Bloody Bridget, God, I've got 2 Oingo Boingo covers, Dead Man's Party and Ain't It the Life, and then we've got stuff from his new album, and then we've got the other music. But everything I do is going to be wall-to-wall music, and you're never going to forget it.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love Danny's work in Nightmare Before Christmas. You talk about stuff that sticks with you. I walk around all years singing Jack's Lament. I mean, you don't want to hear it, trust me. But so what do we got going on? I think I may have already asked this. Coming up, I did ask this.
Well, yeah, but you said right now you're still touring with Bloody Bridget right now, right?
Yeah, and we're doing some gigs with Mambo Diabolico, our band, which is off the charts, by the way. Eagle Plum's the band leader who does the scores with Danny for our movies.
And Richard, how did you come up with the idea and the premise for Bloody Bridget? Like when you watch it, it's almost like a trippy dream.
Like a fever dream, yeah.
Is this just what goes on in your head all day? Because I know we're a bunch of filmmakers and artists here in this group. So like Rick and I, we're always like waking up in the middle of the night and making notes on our phones and calling each other the next day about all this trippy shit that's in our head. But I just felt like I was on this beautiful trippy dream ride watching the whole film. Just how did all of this come about? Was it something that just came to you and you just played into it? Or is it something?
It's a very deep, complicated process. I was inspired by my wife, Anastasia. So I go up on, I have a rooftop deck with a garret where John Lennon actually composed some music in. But anyway, I bring my 2 writer's tools, which are a case of Johnny Walker Black and a box of cigars. And 3 weeks later, I have a script, and there it is.
And there it is.
Nice.
Well,
I like that process.
Yeah, it definitely works. There's just so many layers and elements. I can't wait for everybody else to get to watch this film and experience it. It's one of those movies that's 1000% a rewatch.
Oh yeah, for sure. When will people be able to watch it?
That's a line from Forbidden Zone.
When might people be able to gaze upon this little masterpiece?
Wait, say that again?
When will people be able to check out Bloody Bridget?
I don't know. We're going to probably, at least up until the summer, do more festivals.
Right.
And then we're talking to some distributors, and we'll keep you all posted on our socials, please.
I would love to see a special edition DVD with all kinds of behind the scenes stuff, because that's, as a filmmaker, I love stuff like that, with packed DVDs showing how it all came to be in audio commentary and stuff. So I think that would be an awesome watch.
Well, it was the fastest I've ever shot.
Really?
I can't even tell. Okay, we shot it in 13 fucking days.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's
Very
a lot,
nice.
that's a lot going on.
It looks like it cost more than it did. But what it did cost is still enough to almost bankrupt us. But anyway, we do it again. We completely financed it. We're talking mortgage, credit cards. Fuck it, damn the torpedoes. No more meetings, no more lawyers. Bang, done.
Love it.
I respect the hell out of that.
That's awesome.
We don't even have fucking badges.
Badges.
And was it 13 days through? Was there a break in between?
Yeah, there was 1 day break. Well, he rested.
There you go.
What's the shortest amount of time that it's ever taken that you've made a film in? 13 days is kind of a short time.
Yeah, this is the fastest I've ever worked, but it was
The
2
fastest,
cameras
okay.
and a great cast. And what I love about a digital cinema versus 35, because my career started with 35 millimeter film, is it gives me the opportunity with actors. I've got it, perfect take. Now we're going to do one more, do anything the fuck you want. And I often get my best performance that way, and actors love it because they can. There's no danger. They can just let loose. But it was and Anna was a trooper, but it was just bang, 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 bang. One of our guys, Lorenzo, had like this new lighting package, which is like the fastest, newest stuff. So we were able to light very quickly, which saved time. And doing all the kills back to back to back to back saved another week.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of very respectable pre-production that you have to go through to be that organized on set with coordinating all of that and coordinating all the kills in a row like that and all the, all the effects with all of the actors. How many kills total are in the film?
Yeah, I was wondering the same.
I don't know, 10 or 12. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
montage,
because we have montage.
3 or 4.
That was a fun moment because so we did the montage, and it's funny because like all of the victims that I end up like going after, the actors all, and they're all like tall guys, and I'm in my stilettos, and they all like really like let all of their weight fall on me. And so I have to like cradle them and try to like act at the same time, which was kind of silly. But yeah, so yeah, probably around 10 with all the like major ones. And then
well, she's used to it. Like when I go to my clown alcoholic meetings and get drunk afterwards, she has to call me up the stairs. So she's had practice.
And Anna, what was the most challenging part of filming Bloody Bridget for you? It seems like there was so much going on. Was there just one thing that stands out in your mind?
What was it? I don't know. I mean, I'm such a fan of Rick, so sometimes performing in front of him, I get a little nervous. I don't know. Yeah, I love him so much. I just want to make him proud, So
I can understand that. Yeah, that totally makes sense. And what was the funnest and most?
Don't do it.
As Quasimodo said about Esmeralda.
Loves this guy. I keep on telling him not to do it, and he doesn't listen. And then everybody gives him opportunities on these podcasts, and then he goes rogue.
No, we're here for it. That's
welcome
exactly here on the Indie Horror Junkie podcast. There are no rules. You can do whatever the hell you want.
That's right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that I don't know. It was all like we worked so fast. We're such in sync with everything, and then also like all of my scene partners, they were all on top of their game because I didn't have time to have like rehearsals. I had to step in and they had to know their stuff because I was going sometimes I was going from like a heartbreaking like assault scene to like, having a fun time dragging bodies out of somebody's house or something like that, And then we also we have a friend you might know, Brian Usna, a Reanimator. And so we shot one of the kills at his house, which was insane for me, the lawyer's kill.
Wow.
And so that was a little nerve-wracking because sometimes he would pop up in the background and I would be doing my scene and all of a sudden like Brian Usna is watching me, and I'm such a fan of his Society and just all the stuff that he's done. And so that was a little between those two, a little shaky for me.
And then God and the devil were watching from above and below, so you had that to deal with too.
Yeah. Getting it all over.
Yeah.
Well, there's something to be said about good scene partners and people giving you what you need to react to so that you can give your best performance. So I'm happy to hear that because everything technically that you guys had going on, I know for me, like there's nothing better than just an incredible scene partner that just helps. You're feeding them, they're feeding you, and it elevates the whole project. So
we were blessed with a great cast, all of them with deep acting backgrounds. Anna and I both come from the stage, and that helps me because I can just go bang and stage it right away. The DP and I, we've worked together 25 years, and just think, and then he's thinking, and with two cameras, we're just going bang, 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 and it somehow worked out.
You guys have a flow, a built-in flow, good energy.
And the cast and the crew appreciate that we're moving fast.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
did notice. I was
Go
gonna say
ahead,
real
buddy.
quick. I did notice in the trailer you had some really striking imagery, artwork, and stuff at the very beginning. Who was it that did that? Was it you?
Brilliant artist, Martin Simmons from London. He does DC and Marvel covers. We were
Nice.
Yeah.
Gorgeous work.
Martin Simmons, a prince, a genius.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the music in the beginning, that's an original Danny Elfman score that he just whipped up. And then it goes into one of his songs, Cruel Compensation, from his new album, Big Mess, which is totally amazing and you guys should check out.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, I was gonna, make a point to the whole 13-day shooting, and how everything just, it seems, I haven't been on set yet. My time's coming.
Yes, it is.
But I can only imagine that. I mean, these pieces have to fall like perfectly, and it makes sense when you do have a good scene partner. Boom, not many takes, so there obviously wasn't many take 2, take 3, take 4 type deals. Or was
actually there was, because we were able to light fast, which is that normally gobbles up 90% of your time.
It does.
Actors sitting in the trailer waiting for the sets to be lit. But because I had this new equipment and Howard Wexler and Lorenzo were so quick, by lighting quick, we were able to move quickly.
That's a game changer right there.
And also is shooting with 2 cameras, saving it. I've got the 2 shot and the close up. I didn't have to do 1 and 2, bang and bang. I'm going to double.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For Bloody Bridget, though, was there any scene that either you didn't get to do or a scene that you end up cutting that you really kind of wish you'd like to go back and, reevaluate?
Well, there's always driving home. I'm thinking about like God, like what did if I had $9 billion, what I could have shot. And actors always are thinking, God, if I would have had 1 more take, what I could have done. But I'm at a point now where I know, we've got it. Go for another one. We've got it. Go for another one. But no, we got a decent amount of takes but I had a good cast, all very professional, all very trained. So they moved with it.
Yeah, and a great crew. Everybody really stepped up. And with my stuff, because like what Ricky said, I'm in every scene. So I was very close and connected to my makeup crew, Kenneth and Jake, and then my costuming. It's like everybody was working so fast, but like getting quality, with everything. And I was like, it had to be taped into some stuff. Some things are more risque and I have to like be able to move in it. So I was able to really trust everybody on our team,
But I keep a high energy set and I really drive the pace. And they appreciate that we're driving the pace.
Oh yeah. So
Absolutely.
the character Bloody Bridget, is this the end for her? Does she carry on into a new story?
Okay, Bloody Bridget 1. We've got our 2 lawyers, our little people, Daniel Dershowitz and Daniel Dershowitz Jr., who have to have a trial, the devil and Daniel Dershowitz. So in Bloody Bridget 2, the devil causes some mischief. And a little bit about Bridget, okay? So in Haitian folklore, Baron Samadai, top hat, cigar, rum, women, god of life and death. His wife is from Ireland with red hair named Bridget. If you go to Haiti right now, and Bridget is Saint Bridget of Ireland, and before that was a Celtic goddess, Bridget. And how does that work? It's just like in Jamaica, okay, so they worship Haile Selassie from Ethiopia. Haile Selassie's original name was Tafari. Ross is king, Ross Tafarian. So that's how that works. Okay, so there's this heavy Irish thing with Bridget. So anyway, our Daniel Dershowitz and Daniel Dershowitz Jr. have to cover their yarmulkes with leprechaun hats and go infiltrate the leprechauns in Ireland to get the documents to give it to the devil. Okay, so boy, they've got a job.
Yes, they do.
Nothing much
Fun.
Bloody Bridget too.
I just want to see more of this character, whatever form
I do
it is.
too.
I just gotta
Yes,
see
thank you. Let's see more of her.
more of this
Yeah.
character. I don't want the story to end. I don't want your performances to end. There's got to be more for us.
There's more to be had
bunch
there.
of hope.
We have to have you over to one of the barbecue bacchanals.
Yeah.
By the way, it's an
Please.
underground. It's an underground event, not for the public.
It's a very hot ticket, so yeah.
My
only-
bags are packed.
Right.
Let's go.
I mean, I could leave now if we need to. So just let me know.
I guess I'll end the show. I mean,
See you next week.
see you next week, right? I got a very basic question. Anna, you made mention over here of that picture. I'm taking you're a big Universal Monsters fan. What's you guys' favorite horror movie? That sounds very like, what's your favorite color? Do you like me? Check yes or no type question. But,
The famous monsters, or do you mean in general? Because that
well, you can give me your favorite famous monster, but in general movie, yeah.
well, it's funny because we have our daughter who just turned 16. I grew up with watching all of these horror films, and so now she's like very interested in like she's lived, like, grown up on set. She's been around it. Mom's done effects and all of that stuff, and so now she's like very interested in learning about like watching more horror. And so I'm like, okay, let's go to the roots of it. Let's watch all the famous monsters. And so I believe in that kind of stuff. And so we've watched The Invisible Man recently, and The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and obviously Phantom of the Opera. We actually watched it twice. She wanted to watch it a second time.
I love it.
Yeah, she's good. I love her.
She's into the spooky.
What?
She's into the spooky.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, it's so hard to pick. I mean, because of Lon Chaney Sr., I would say of the famous monsters, I would say Phantom of the Opera. But if that wasn't included, because technically I don't see him as a monster. I just see him as a really devoted guy who wanted to see that bitch Christina go be a diva, and then he made one single rule when he brought her down to his lair about not touching his mask, and then 5 minutes in, what does she do?
Will you let me
Yeah.
take my
Rips it
mask?
off.
I know, look at us now.
She was a bitch for doing that too.
I hate
Yes.
her so much. I would be like, yes, go ahead. Let me, do my bidding. Make sure that the opera has me as the prima donna diva. Come on. He's like
Very
literally-
calculated.
Yeah.
I hate her. Anyways, I love him. But besides that, I really love The Invisible Man. And probably because I just watched it.
What did you say?
The Invisible Man.
The Invisible
Oh.
Man. Yes.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so great. And it's
Yes.
still complete. I mean, all of them completely hold up, but yeah.
Yeah.
And you?
God, I don't know. The Bride of Frankenstein,
Yeah.
Hitchcock.
Bride of Frankenstein, that's classic.
By the way, the Haunting from 1960,
Mm.
probably the scariest ghost movie ever made.
Julie Christie.
Yeah, I'm a James Wan fan.
James one, yes.
Yeah, Brian Usna fan. I've got my favorites.
Yeah, if we're branching out, I love horror comedies. I love Death Becomes Her, I love Gremlins.
That is
I
one of my favorite movies of all time. Is Death Becomes Her.
Right? It's a
Yes.
film.
I feel like it's underrated and people don't talk about it
Very
enough.
underrated.
Tons of practical effects, especially when it was filmed. They had, the head spun around and the hole in the stomach, and like, don't even get me started on the acting.
Hole in your stomach. Yeah. Now a warning? No,
Oh, warning!
and it's insane that the cast is so great, but having Bruce Willis cast totally opposite of what he was normally the
Action star.
Action.
hero, and then having him cast as like the doofus of the group.
And he
literally
embodied it, even just the way he like held himself or walked.
just running down to go
Brilliant.
to go into the morgue. And then everybody else, even the backgrounds, all of them were so good. It's just completely perfect. And the score, the lighting, the
everything.
editing.
I'm so glad that you're talking about that movie. I feel like just so many people haven't seen
episode on that. I love it so much.
Let's do a remake.
Oh my God.
But yes.
Here's a question from the chat for Anastasia. Is there any updates on you being in Attack of the 50-Foot Woman?
Not yet, and thank you for asking. I read that Tim Burton was going to do a remake, and I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
Let me jump in there. I've got some gams.
Wait a minute, we're going to see him at a family thing soon. I'm going to get him in the back and wrestle the kid down. He may be a genius, but before he breaks his arm, I'll get you cast.
Okay. I can't say it. Somebody else needs to do that for me.
Hey,
You have our vote.
Back. Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to get people tell Tim every time I posted a fun, silly. I like making little silly videos where I'll impose myself, and usually with David Lynch or a Twin Peaks thing, I'll do a Killer Bob, thank Bob, it's Friday kind of thing for Twin Peaks. And so I'll I'll Photoshop myself into one of the shots or do a little photo shoot or something like that. So I did that for some of the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, and I thought it came out pretty well because I'm not very tech savvy. And so everybody who's commenting, I was like, tell Tim. Yes, thank you.
Start a new campaign. Everybody email Tim.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
right.
Army.
Bethany also wants to know, do you guys like Psycho, that whole franchise?
Oh, Psycho, yeah, put that on the list. Of course.
I mean,
That's actually, I think, one of my favorite franchises. I don't think there's a bad movie, 1, 2, or 3. I don't think any of them are bad.
Well,
Not just that, but if you ever saw the TV series Bates Motel with Freddie Highmore, that was exceptional. It really was.
Yeah, Mrs. Dredd's like that one.
we should watch it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
on our list.
So we got about 7 minutes left in this, and it's been a fun time, man. I want to thank you guys for blessing us with 2 firsts tonight. We have one. We can, no, let him.
That's for the after show.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
We had a bottle of champagne pop, the cork pop. That was the first
Party
thing.
company.
It's a Valentine's Day, honey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
And we gotta thank
Happy
you
Valentine's
guys.
Day.
We have to thank you for spending your Valentines with us. I personally could not think of a funner way than
Yes.
to knock out Valentine's Day, than to talking to you two, talking about Bloody Bridget, talking about movies and practical special effects, talking about Death Becomes Her. I mean, come on, today doesn't get better than this. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to join us on the Indie Horror Junkie podcast, because we have enjoyed your film so much, and we can't wait to see more of what you do. And we got to get you down here in Florida. I'm calling the Cuban Club when we get off.
We're gonna make that happen. Mark it down.
Please.
No, we're so there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
anyway, I mean, without going to Havana, I guess Tampa, they'll let me smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you'll get some fantastic cigars here. I promise you that. I'll make sure of it.
There we go. Maybe with some rum, I'll write another screenplay in the back room.
Oh,
There
God.
you go.
There you go. I got to make that happen too. Come on, let me get my checklist together. That and some barbecue. I'm ready.
Well,
Barbecue, rum, and cigars.
kind of my goal with this is to have us tour with our films, is so that, because I find that a majority of Ricky's fans who saw Forbidden Zone, it was all on bootleg copies or in the back of some kind of VHS store or in somebody's basement. And so they're not aware that he is completely active on social media. We do these live events. It's an incredible event for fans, because not only is he in the audience watching the film with him, you get to see Forbidden Zone on the big silver screen, but you also get like all of these insane experiences of him coming in with a band playing live.
Yes.
A little bit of something, and then
A little bit, she says. Brazil.
and then afterwards, you know, we do meet and greets. People, I've just heard such lovely things from fans, and then we watch the film with everybody, and so like you're seeing fans get to like experience all of this live and get to get up and dance, and it's like a totally immersive experience that I don't think anybody else, no other creator, director, are doing it to this extreme. It's like we give them like this live show, and it's kind of like, I don't know, I love William Castle, and I love to shock and entertain people, and I love vaudeville, and I just want to bring, you know, a live performance back into this cinematic experience.
Love
I'm
that.
in love.
That was a
with-
mouthful, but I loved it.
Florida, put a cigar in my mouth.
Yes, and so
Let's
like
do
these shows are very word of mouth. So demand them from your theater, an art house theater, wherever. If they've got a way to project correctly and sound wise, I can make anything work.
We're going to make it happen. Mark it
Yeah.
down.
I'm
That's
just really
awesome.
into what you guys are doing for the indie horror filmmaking community. You guys are bringing so much to life. You're setting the bar so high, and I just have mad respect for everything you're doing with your films and going on tour. It's exciting. So however we can help promote that, we're going to do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And indie performers too is a big thing for me to support. And it's like I want to get indie performers, burlesque performers, you know, like sideshow performers, musicians. I want to give them all a platform to get noticed, and I want to like save cinemas too and give them platforms, you know, to have like these fun events. You know, they're very, very unique, and it's almost like I was just talking to Ricky about this. It's almost like coming to one of our dinners, because we do these very like curated dinners with the music and the lighting and the food, and it's like in a way it's like coming over to our home and, you know, being one of our special guests.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't get any cooler than that, you guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Very exciting.
Bethany said she wants to audition for you guys. She's an actor, and you guys are her biggest inspiration.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
That's so nice.
So
How
that
cool is that?
yeah, right. You're touching
Absolutely.
people. That's awesome.
The next
That's
project.
awesome.
Absolutely.
Is there a specific place that people can go on the interwebs to find a schedule or to see when you're coming, where you're going to be?
Probably Facebook and Instagram now, but we're revamping all the websites. That might take a month. But right now, Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, so we're both on Facebook, Richard Elfman, Anastasia Elfman, and then the films are all on Facebook. So we got Bloody Bridget, Forbidden Zone, and Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks. And then on Instagram, it's Richard Elfman. I'm under, it's confusing, but I'm under my stage name, Dahlia DeMont. I don't know how to switch it back, sorry. And then somebody help me. I'm really not tech savvy. I don't want to lose everybody, so I just keep it going. But so also all the films are on Instagram. So Bloody Bridget film, Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks, and Forbidden Zone 2. And so we try to like promote there a lot. Like I'll promote a lot of my stories, and like our team will carry it over to the other places. So yeah, we're trying to be very like connected with our fans. Like I lovingly call my fans my dumb babies. So it's a fun time on Instagram.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys again as we come to about an hour. I think we'd all would appreciate if you guys just hold on, don't hang up yet. We're going to put you backstage. We want to say bye to you after we close out the show. So stick around, you guys. Richard, Anastasia, thank you so much for taking some time out with your Valentine's Day festivities and chatting with us junkies. It means the world to us, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Thank you, guys.
We'll chat with you in just about a minute.
Yep, hang tight. Don't go nowhere. Don't leave studio quite yet. We'll be back. That was so much fun. Wow. I didn't being the first time I've ever spoke to any Elfman, I'm getting a clear understanding that the wackiness is always right around the corner, and I absolutely love it.
Oh, absolutely.
Very,
It was a
very
great
welcomed
conversation.
wackiness.
Yeah, I grew up with the Rocky Horror Picture Show and all that kind of stuff, so I'm well versed in that, and they
Oh,
bring
yeah.
some energy. So
Everything they're doing
I'm
is fun and exciting and innovative, and I can't wait to see what they do next. I'm just on board with it all.
Yeah,
all
I've
right.
got to go see one of these screenings. That's all I got to say. Next week, Junkies, Mr. Torrey Jones. He's a writer, producer, director, Jonestown Films. The Boy from Below, Phantom Fun World, Angel, and Wicked Ones are some titles under his name. He's going to be joining us next week. And wow. Okay. I got to go decompress. Thank you guys in the chat. If you dug the show, please spread it far and wide. Hit that subscribe button if you're over there on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, go over there to YouTube anyway and hit it. And we will, well, as they say in the biz,
See you next Wednesday.
yes,
Happy
we will.
Valentine's Day.